If that's too bright, and we just want a little bit of light, I can turn yeah, you can turn on the light.
From all of the buildings that had fallen down arrived where we were. This is miles, so it was a big thing. It's like the end of the world.
I guess within a couple of hours, I was out of the streets and just went down to the main hospital because people had started to congregate there, and I'll always remember that. People were lying on doors, on the ground, on sheets, hospital beds, gurneys that had been pulled out of the hospital from somewhere. Like in that one little, it was maybe, I don't know, 30 meters was kind of a someone dead, someone being mourned, someone ill, hoping to get treatment. It was all kind of there, and that was the beginning for me of what we were up against.
It was very hazy at the beginning. You know, there has been a massive earthquake that nobody knew what the depth and the whole tragedy was. And then I turned on CNN and I could see the whole thing unfold. I said, oh my God. And, you know, first of all, I was very concerned about our staff because we nearly 1,000 staff. And then I was thinking, oh my God, we have a 12-story building. Did it stay up?
Our building was damaged. At that time, we didn't know, but we thought there was every likelihood that staff had died. The UN headquarters were also damaged by this, so they lost 40 or 50 staff.
Okay. Alive? Do you know? Did you speak to them? No. How long ago did you last hear them?
Last time I heard someone calling was 36 to 48 hours ago.
36 to 48 hours ago was the last time you heard. What was it? Was it tapping? Was it voice?
It was tapping.
In relation to where you were, do you know what direction? To the. Okay. So to your right.
We were all in the same plight in a sense. This wasn't a disaster somewhere else that you were going to help. This disaster was happening to you and your team and your staff who were Haitian or expats working in that city.
Sincèrement, ça a été le choc. On voyait nos proches décapités, je ne peux pas dire seulement mourir, mais décapités. C'était, pour moi, c'était la grande moucherie.
I felt I had a clarity of mind. I went into the office, I got a piece of paper, wrote a letter to the ambassador, and walked right up the driveway, forced my way in, and sent this permission for the ambassador to do humanitarian evacuations and any kind of emergency assistance by using our golf force.
Frantically, we were making phone calls, and eventually the word came back, the building stayed up. And the people we lost, the staff that we lost, were people who were on days off. And, you know, it was at 4:53, I think, in the afternoon. So, you know, rush hour was just about to start. And so there was a lot of people on the streets in rush hour. So that saved an awful lot of lives.
We did end up having one staff member who lost her daughter. Very tragic. She, incidentally, was our relief specialist. Oh, I still remember very vividly. I just saw her fall into somebody's arms about, I'd say, 3 days later, when the confirmation came through that they'd found the body of her daughter in a private girls' school in Port-au-Prince. And she went to the funeral and refused to stay home and was back in the office the next day.
pour moi, c'est le plus grand choc mental et spirituel et que ait jamais vécu le peuple haïtien.
As a company, we said, well, first of all, let's move quickly. And the first thing we did was top up everybody's phones with $5 so that people who were caught in rubble, they could text, or if they could phone, but it was mainly text, to tell people where they were. So we saw incredible stories in the particularly the week after the earthquake, where people being rescued using their cell phones.
Yo vraiment été côté yo te sorti. Immediately after the earthquake, people were scrambling to find open spaces to live in. So a lot of people following the news would know that people were sleeping in the streets, and this really was the largest open space in the entire city. It used to be the golf course, the only golf course in the country. And it's located smack dab in the center.
Put another one up high like this. Just put a line across here from this diagonally right. We made camp in the front yard of a broken house. And each day, as we were organizing and sending out the trucks and doing all that stuff, we'd see.
I got stuff I want to do in my wheel.
Pardon?
There's some stuff I want to do in my wheel. But I spend a weird time with you.
That's where the 82nd Airborne was based. They
Seems to be real.
defense of leased land for them in response to the earthquake.
Sean came in with his group, and they sort of arrived here, and I said, who are they? And the Army made an agreement that if they worked out, they could stay.
This is all plastering for cast that we're going to take over the greenhouse from the city.
As the weeks went by, more and more people, literally by the tens of thousands, started pouring in here. Especially after food started being distributed, about 2 weeks after the earthquake, in order to help keep people going. So it ballooned somewhere between 45 and 60,000 people were living here at the high point, which also corresponds to when JPHRO started its rubble removal and demolition programs. That basically started because people weren't moving out. In fact, they were continuing to come in, and so Sean and the team were really trying to figure out, why weren't people going back? And the biggest reason people gave was there was no place to go back to. It was totally buried.